Hello friends, and welcome back to Against the Storm Overexplained, where today we are going to continue making progress towards our very first bronze seal here, and we're going to go ahead and start by jumping into the Royal Woodlands tile right here. Now last time we were on Pioneer, so today we're going to go ahead and jump up to Veteran, which means that Blight Rot and Corruption are going to be a thing, and we'll talk about that during this video or potentially the next one. For now, since we're in the Royal Woodlands, I think we're going to go with the all-beaver squad with a couple of mystery villagers. We'll get eggs and roots and wood. The Royal Woodlands. The Queen's Forests were once part of the smoldering city, but the Blight Storm reclaimed this land. The Royal Woodlands are rich in roots, moss, broccoli, mushrooms, and flax, with a decent amount of dewberries and clay. The ground is fertile and soft, which makes it perfect for farming. We're going to get 140 experience, a few seal fragments, and some food stockpiles from winning this. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, before anything, let's take a look at our forest mysteries. During the drizzle, reputation gained from resolve is increased by 100%. That's nice. Looming darkness, same as always. We've got 3 at hostility rank 2. Quaking bog, which decreases gathering speed. Absorption, which means that burning cysts takes 5 seconds longer. And rotting wood, which means that during the storm, if we have 2 or more hostility, we will chop down trees faster, but we will destroy all of the wood, so we won't actually get any. Unnatural erosion. The wind and rain seems more destructive. Pay 5 oil with each storm, or else 2 random resource nodes will be destroyed, but that only happens at hostility 4. You start each settlement with the hostility of the forest at level 0. As your town grows, this hostility will slowly increase when you perform certain actions, like discovering glades, welcoming new villagers, or assigning new woodcutters. You can find the full list of hostility sources by hovering over the hostility icon. Some actions can lower the hostility of the forest, like building additional hearths, or letting the Queen's impatience grow. With each hostility level, a negative resolve penalty is applied to all villagers, and new forest mysteries can become active. Forest mysteries are generated at the start of each game based on the map's difficulty and biome. Each effect is only active during its corresponding season. Positive effects occur during the drizzle, while negative ones are active during the storm. Some effects are simple modifiers that influence production, reduce speed, or destroy buildings, but some are based on your villagers' needs. For example, hailstorm can kill villagers during the storm, but if they have a home, they'll be safe. So we're going to get to those other tooltips in a second, but for right now, let's go ahead and start with our usual opening path. See if we can find a good spot for some houses. There we go. Start with a crude workstation, a trading post, a couple of woodcutter camps. Now, where are we headed? We've got a dangerous glade here. And that's the only one we have direct access to, so we're definitely going to start there. And then we'll also dig around here just for the wood. We'll go ahead and drop a stonecutter camp here as well. Sacrificing. During especially hard times, you can sacrifice additional goods in the hearth to temporarily gain positive effects. Each fuel type grants a different bonus, or boon, like increasing your production speed, decreasing hostility, etc. To do this, select the hearth, navigate to the sacrifice panel, and choose the resource you want to burn. The selected goods will be taken from your warehouse at the rate of 1 every few seconds. You can control how much will be consumed by using the arrow buttons. The more you sacrifice, the stronger a given bonus becomes. Sacrificing consumes resources at a very high rate and might drain your storage very quickly. Always remember to turn it off when you no longer need it. So that's this right here. I can sacrifice wood to get my hostility reduced. Same thing with coal, and then sea marrow gives me event work speed increase, and oil gives me global production speed increase. We've got our first cornerstone. Newcomers arriving more quickly is pretty nice. Bonus leather is also nice, though I don't really have any way of making leather right now. We're going to go with secure trail. Oh, and we have our brand new species that we unlocked last time, the harpies. So let's take a look at them really quick. Obviously, they get resolved from their own houses. They like jerky and biscuits. They like pie. They prefer to be clothed. And then their services are education and treatment. Treatment being tea. So that's what we're looking at with the harpies. In my experience, harpies can be very difficult to keep happy. We're just going to cut directly into this dangerous glade. First orders. So we can either complete a glade event for 4 people and some food and some parts, or we can cut through to 2 glades. I think we're going to go with this one because I really want the +1 clay production. Complete 2 dangerous or forbidden glade events. We're definitely going to do that, so let's go ahead and pick that one. And then we can either do some camps or we can get rich harvest, 5 packs of crops. I think we're going to stick with camps. Now, really quick. Blight rot and corruption. Blight rot, which is what this is a dangerous parasite that can infect buildings in your settlement. The most common source of blight rot is rain punk technology, a side effect of using rain engines in your production buildings. You can read more in the rain punk entry in the encyclopedia. However, you may also encounter blight rot in the wild, in glade events, or forest mysteries. Blight rot accumulates gradually over time. When it reaches a certain threshold, blight rot cysts will begin to appear on buildings. Each building can have a maximum of 3 blight rot cysts. Once this limit has been reached, blight rot will start spreading to nearby buildings. At first, blight rot cysts remain dormant, but during the storm season, they awaken, like that, and begin corrupting the ancient hearth, indicated by the progress bar above the hearth and in the hearth's UI when selected. Once the progress bar reaches the end, a negative effect will trigger, killing a number of your villagers. The more active blight rot cysts there are, the faster the corruption progresses. To combat the spread of blight rot, you need to build blight posts and create a resource called Purging Fire. Blight rot cysts are invulnerable for most of the year, but during the storm season they open and become vulnerable. This is when blight fighters can go around the settlement and burn them down. Removing a cyst will not only slow down the corruption process, but also remove some of the accumulated corruption from the hearth. The ancient hearth can be reinforced by building and upgrading other smaller hearths in your settlement. So I want to make sure to use some rain punk technology so that you can actually see how the blight rot process works. But I find that blight rot isn't a huge problem until we reach the later levels, like the higher difficulties. what have we got here? Speaking of blight rot, we have a corrupted caravan. We can either cleanse the caravan with purging fire, as well as some other stuff, or we can send the contaminated goods. We don't really have a whole lot of options for either of these, unfortunately. So we're going to have to do something pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and make the blight post right away. The problem is the blight post requires planks and bricks, neither of which I have. So this is one of the times when the trader is really useful, when you have a limited time to deal with something and you don't have the resources for it. Alright, let's see here. He does not have either planks or... Oh, but he does have Purging Fire. Okay, cool. So we're going to buy a few Purging Fire. And then, wait, what else did we need? 4 copper bars. And we'll trade a few of our parts to get that done. Again, trading parts early is really a risk. But in this case, I really got to get this dealt with. So we now have some Purging Fire, and we have some copper bars. Let's go take care of this. Now, every 120 seconds while I'm working on this, a Blight Rot Cyst is going to spawn, so I still need to get this post up and running as fast as possible. In the meantime, we also have a large encampment here. So we can either welcome new people or send them to the Citadel. We're going to welcome new people. We have a haunted cooperage here, which I would really love to cleanse at some point. Or I could burn it down for bricks and berries. Now there's one more dangerous glade up here that I think we're going to go ahead and cut into. And in the meantime, let's take a look at our blueprint options. I think a bakery is probably a good plan. We do have some farmland out here, so I'm going to go with the bakery. But now we have to start working towards, filling in that bakery. So we'll grab the small farm. And now I need some way to make flour. The provisioner is perfect. So through that, I just gained the ability to make grain, the ability to turn that grain into flour, and then the ability to turn that flour into biscuits and pies. These are the kind of things you got to be thinking about as you're going through your run. We got some newcomers waiting. Harpy resolve is low. So we're going to go ahead and temporarily favor the harpies in the hopes that we can run out the clock. As you can see, there's a little bit of balancing you can do with favoring and unfavoring just to get to the end of the storm, hopefully before anybody leaves. Okay, what next? I'm about to get to the next dangerous glade. And we also definitely need to start making some planks and some bricks. New cornerstone. Cooking steam or protected trade. Hostility is reduced by -10 every time you sell goods or collect rainwater. Food production is increased for drizzle water. I'm actually going to go with that one. And I think we are going to go ahead and drop a rain collector right there. All right, what do we got up here? We have a Harmony Spirit Altar, which we can calm to get a global resolve boost, or we can burn it down for some pottery and some pies. I think we're going to go with calming the spirits, although we don't have the amber for it yet. We finished Lost in the Woods, so we'll deliver that. And Sahilda. Couple of things, Sahilda. I need 10 amber. Please and thank you.
Yes, yes.
And with that, I should be able to calm the spirits, get my resolve boost. We also have some more farmland up here. And some mushrooms. Lizard resolves currently only 3, but I'm pretty sure we could manage happy lizards. We can also manage meat diet, which we're going to do. And then either beaver population or advanced farming. I don't normally make packs of crops, but let's go ahead and do that because I do think that getting more stuff out of the small farm is probably a good plan. Still working on this one. We're going to move out here and start clearing around this farmland. I also think this is going to be a good spot for our next little nexus. So we're going to drop a small warehouse right here, as well as a small hearth. It's not quite how I wanted to do that. There we go. Now we've definitely got a few people without homes, so we'll have to deal with that. But overall, I think we're doing okay. New blueprints. The herbalist camp we know we need because we do have some mushrooms. And then the rain mill is good for flour, but we already have the provisioner. I think we're going to jump straight to the tavern and hope that we can pick up some a brewery later on. Not to mention, this cooperage will be good for making barrels that we can use to make ale. Eventually, we're going to head towards this forbidden glade, but not just now. We definitely need more parts, so we're going to go with that one. And in fact, we're going to put a lizard into our ancient hearth for a global resolve boost. We've got the blight post up and running, so we're going to move one of our harpies in there. This tells us how much fuel we've got, so how many purging fires we have, as well as how many cysts there are. There's only 2, and I don't want to waste all of my resources, so I'm going to put a limit of 5 purging fire. drop a small forager's camp right here for those vegetables. We finished TikTok. So we'll deliver that and take a look at our options. I'm looking for something that can make ale, really. That's kind of my hope. I'm not making the cooperage because there's already a haunted cooperage out there that I can get later. We're going to re-roll this. I think the herb garden's probably going to be the way to go, given how much farmland we're going to have here. And now, because my resolve is so low, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this button right here, which will unassign all the woodcutters and lower my hostility to 0, thus increasing my resolve. A lot of the time during the storm, you're going to remove your woodcutters in order to help manage your hostility. You can see our harpy here is starting to destroy some of those cysts. We don't have any humans, sadly, but we will go ahead and staff this farm. And then I'm thinking we put the herb garden probably here. I feel like there's a spot here where I can put the herb garden and it'll cover everything. New cornerstone. Bread peels. Bakery production is faster. I like that. Yeah, let's do that, since that's where we're kind of heading with this. We're going to move our new decoration into our main town here, if we have space. I am producing my tier 2 materials. I kind of feel like I only need grain here instead of vegetables, since I am collecting vegetables through the foragers camp. So I'm just going to have them, from here on out, just put grain and not vegetables. And then, yeah, you see how there's this little corner here, so I can put the herb garden there, and it should hit all of these spots. In the meantime, we're going to go avoid glades and just start sort of cutting around. New orders. Neither of these are going to be particularly useful, but let's go ahead and go with liquid luck. Salvage or rebuild ruins. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I've got a couple ready to go. Packs of provisions. I do have a provisioner. Or I can do aesthetics decorations. I think that's the one I'm going to do. We got Zorg, but we don't really have anything to trade at this point, so we're just going to ignore him. I need 15 aesthetic decorations. I prefer the gardens because they're worth 4 each. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. So eventually those will get done. Especially since we've got some planks coming in. Okay, the provisioner is going to be making mostly just flour. And I believe we're going to make a post to start doing some packs of crops. Once again, we unassign all of our woodworkers, and that stops us from losing resolve quite so quickly. Definitely low on planks, but we're making them as fast as we can. And in fact, I really need those planks, like, right away. So we're going to focus on only making planks for right now. Neither of these is particularly worthwhile to me, so I'm going to decline for the extra 10 amber. And we've got low lizard resolve. I think part of that, the reason is we need to start making some more shelters. There we go. We will make pottery, yeah. We'll put a limit of 30. Now I'm getting there on resin, but cleansing this is going to be difficult because I get a -3 to global resolve every 60 seconds, so I have to wait on that one for a little bit. Looks like we're about to make this herbalist camp here. Our secondary hearth is going up. Just in time for more people. And in fact, we're going to make this a lizard since they love warm places. We have a little bit more in the way of unhoused folks, so we're going to fix that right now. Over there, and I think we can make housing right here. There. We should have plenty of housing for a while now. We're also going to start dropping a couple of decorations in here for the purposes of leveling up these hearths. And also, we just need a harvester's camp now. But I don't have enough parts for it. But we only need it for a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm, for now, going to remove this woodcutter camp. That should give me enough materials to make this harvester camp to finish up this order. Impatience is getting a little bit higher than I like. Now, this tea house, do I want to rebuild it or do I want to salvage it? I think I want to rebuild it. I still need planks, though. New order. We already have the blueprints for the tavern, so that's the one we're going to take. Parts, that's exactly what we needed. We are low on food and low on fuel. We're going to make a clothier. And now we can... I don't think we have anything to harvest with the harvest camp, right? No, there is some... There is some fiber over here. So we can gather that. We need food, something awful. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That should keep us from starving for a little while. And also, we need fuel for the fire. So we're going to have to do a dangerous little juggle here. See, when the fire goes out, all the resolve goes down. So we're going to start getting more fuel in there. There we go. That was a little close. We're going to do farming tools to get more food out of the small farm. And we're going to go ahead and have them start making vegetables again. And after that little scare, we should be okay to go going forward. We are going to make another wood camp. And we are going to stop any recipes that involve wood right now. Anything that we're doing that involves wood, we are stopping. That way, the wood only goes to the fire. There we go. This is also a good demonstration on how it's not the end of the world if you end up losing some folks. If you end up making a mistake, or if you have a hard time, and you end up not able to keep every single one of your villagers around, that's actually okay. The only thing that really matters is the impatience. So we're going to want to make porridge and tea. If we can, which we can't just yet. We don't have everything for it. Now, food should stop being an issue at this point because we're making flour. Yeah. And we're making biscuits and pies. I think we've got enough space now to make our tavern, which will also give us a resolve bonus once we get that staffed. "20 planks, though. Yikes. I think we're going to need to wait and buy some planks to finish that up. Last 2 orders. We'll do Master of Exploration, and we'll do Leisure. Only the Harpies are having a hard time at this point. So we're going to let them be sad for a moment. And now we're going to favor them so that everyone's okay without me having to pull my woodcutters. We've got newcomers, but I'm not quite ready for them yet. We did finish our aesthetic decorations. And I think we're going to pick up... We're going to re-roll this. Lumber mill is exactly what I was looking for because I really need planks. New cornerstone. Lose all wood, except then you get +1 to wood production. So this is actually really good, and we're going to take it. So we're down to almost no fuel, but now they're going to be getting double yields all the time. So we should end up increasing our wood production quite a lot. Food is still weirdly being an issue. And we're gonna have you stop making planks. Still got newcomers waiting, so we'll go ahead and pick them up. We're going to make an herbalist camp over here to grab these mushrooms, and then I think it's about time we open up into another glade. So we'll do that one.
Hello. Hello.
In the meantime, we have 15 amber to work with. So let's buy some food. That way we're not starving. Okay, we've got no food in here, unfortunately, although we do have insects. But we don't have the materials to break it open. Pack of crops is almost done. And lizards are super happy. And we can start making porridge, which will help our food production. So I want to make sure I've got harpies in there. Perfect. Now let's take a look at our hearths here. I've already got the highest level I can get for both of them, for now. And now, as you can see, our folks are really happy. We're beginning to build up some reputation. And we're almost at the end of our advanced farming order here. Clothier's getting finished up. Harpies love working with clothes, so once again, we'll drop them in there. We do need someone to finish up that provisioner, though, to start making more flour, or to get in there. Hopefully the coats will start helping out our reputation as well, and in fact, now that our reputation, or that our resolve is this high, I feel a little bit better working on the Haunted Cooperage, at least once the storm ends. Now, our hostility is at 2, which means all of these things are in play. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my woodcutters to drop it to 1. Now, it's less than 2 minutes, so I think we can go ahead and start cleansing this. We got newcomers, but I think we're pretty full up at the moment. New cornerstone, giant vegetables. Or 12 amber for every 50 ale produced. Well, I still don't have any way of making ale. We're going to take giant vegetables for now. Tavern's about up. So we're going to staff that to increase our global resolve. And as soon as this is done, that resolve should jump back up again. Still don't have what it takes to break open that cache, but I do have more folks to put on woodcutting duty. I think I'm probably about done with expansion, if I'm being honest. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine as things are right now. We can now make 10 coats for 1 fabric, but you already do that, so I'm not too worried about that. You can also make tea and barrels. But I've got plenty of barrels at the moment. I really need a brewery or something that can make ale for me, and this is not that. So I'm not going to do anything yet. I'm going to wait until I have the amber to re-roll that. And in fact, when's the trader coming? Oh, right now. Perfect. +3 to beaver resolve would be very useful. I also have a ton of copper that I don't really need. I'm not really using. So I'm going to sell that copper and some of this clay. And I'm going to pick up Beaver Clan support to try to get them a little bit more reputation, or a little bit more resolve. And then I think it's about time for us to start cutting into a new glade. We'll do this one. With the aim of eventually getting up into this forbidden glade. You'll notice that our fuel is way up there now. Nothing really useful in here. Some roots. But we're going to start cutting up to there. We're going to avoid glades so that it doesn't open by surprise. And we're almost there with pack of crops. And as you can see, now that we've got so many things fulfilled, the storm is no longer a particular danger to us. Pack of crops is done, so we're actually going to delete the makeshift post, get that delivered. Still nothing that I want, but we're getting there to the next blueprint. New cornerstone. Mushroom production increases. No, I'm going to take the 10 amber because I want to use that 10 amber to re-roll this blueprint. Scribe does ale, and that's good enough for me. So we're going to drop a scribe down here, and we are going to give it top priority. And in fact, we've got so many unemployed folks that I want to make sure we get everything dealt with. Boom, boom. Boom. Excellent. We have been getting a lot of copper, so a smelter is probably a good plan. As soon as this scribe is done, we'll be ready to make our next move. We are once again going to go grain only. And it's all ale all the time. I think we will want to camp to gather these roots. Though I don't currently have the tools for it, or the parts for it. There, that gets me the parts that I need. We'll go ahead and start making some copper bars. And then, yep, we got ale and root. Here we go. We are low on food, so when Zorg comes in, hopefully we'll be able to fix that. You're about ready to cut into the next one. Now, we're still at 2 hostility, so I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice 1 wood to get us back down to 1, and I'm going to click stop after the storm. And you'll notice that once again, I'm leaving the newcomers where they are until I've got food dealt with. And even then, I'm getting so close to victory and defeat, I'm not sure if I want to get the new people just now. Okay, let's see what I've got here. Zorg could give me this puffed grain, which should really help my food production. I need 15 gold for that. Or amber. I don't know if I have enough stuff for that. Yeah, I do. Okay, no problem. We'll get more amber.
Hello.
Pick up the puffed grain. And then I still have 11 amber left. So that should solve our food problems for the moment. Yeah, see, I don't need 7 more people in my camp. That's a lot more mouths to feed. But also, I could buy a ton of ale, which I need for my orders. So let's do that. Because now, what I'm going to do, really fast, Let's go ahead and let them get their leisure. And then once this order is done, we're actually going to forbid them from drinking so that we can get cups and glasses going. Oh, never mind. Cups and glasses is done, so we're going to go ahead and get that one in. That both increases our reputation and lowers the impatience, which is super useful. We'll grab the temple. I like the idea of the temple and the tavern being right next to each other. That amuses me. And we're still gaining reputation from the high resolve. I think we are just about at the end of this run, friends. Herbalist camp has nothing nearby. Doesn't look like there's anything else, so we're just going to drop it. And in fact, because I want this reputation, I'm so close to the end that I'm going to go ahead and favor the Harpies to get a little bit more reputation going. And in fact, I bet we can increase reputation even more. There we go. At your end game, you can sacrifice a bunch of wood or coal to drop the hostility to increase greatly your resolve as a sort of last push to the end of the game. And that's that, my friends. We got a bunch of deeds that we're going to check out in a moment, but for right now, let's go back to the world map. So there we are. We're still aiming for this bronze seal down here. Deeds. We won a game in the Royal Woods. That gets us up to level 6. Giving us a few more buildings. A new trader, Sother the Ancient. And a couple more cornerstones. Exploration Expedition is one of my favorites. And then Frequent Caravans is also really nice. We get a home decoration. We get a settlement decoration. And some more XP. And I know for the next tutorial, we're supposed to get up to Obsidian Archive level 6, so we're going to start there. And then we're going to go all the way back down to the bottom. We're going to pick up Pioneer's Gate level 1. As well as First Dawn Headquarters level 1. There we go. And I believe that's going to be that for this video. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and do the Rainpunk and Blightrot tutorial. It'll have some of the same information that we already talked about, but I figure over-explanation is better than under-explanation. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you then.